Welcome to the Dragon's Tome. My name's Jack. This is Pat. This is Rob, and we are doing a weekly go through of all in chronological order. Rob, you looked confused there for a second.
I hurt my finger when I was pointing, so I looked confused. I dislocated my pointer finger.
Podcasting related injuries. Pointer finger is high on the list. I think that's number 6.
Yep.
At one time you clackered your chin hairs.
My nose for sure.
Your nose for sure. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, this is a podcast, a professional podcast, which we talk about Dragon Magazine through chronological, yada, yada, yada. We are on episode and issue 119. For those keeping track, it would be a March 1987 we're covering.
My birthday.
No,
March
happy
1987.
Birthday.
Yeah.
He was 87.
Should I say how old I am? In 87? Does it matter?
I was 12.
I was 18.
Jack was somewhere in between those numbers.
Yes. Somewhere distinctly north of Rob, but quite a bit south of Pat. So I'm a mystery, an enigma wrapped in a riddle. Oh, okay. So let's talk about this here cover. This looks like some sort of frost troll of some sort fighting a couple of legionnaires.
A Korid?
It does have a name.
I think it's a Korid. I think that's what it is. It says down. No, it's a Kastichi. Kastichiti.
I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't know. Was that in any of the Monster Manuals?
Yeah, it is. It's Monster Manual 2.
Oh, see, I didn't have Monster Manual 2.
This is one of my favorite covers. I had this issue. It seems to me that Mr. Daniel Horn is one of my favorite cover artists because my favorite ones are always by him.
Oh, is this a good cover though?
It was a class. I think I probably bought the magazine because of this cover.
I have to say, I think the guy holding his shield up is a little delusional.
He's about
a little
to die.
Delusional about what that shield is going to do for him.
The Canada geese are nonplussed, as Canada geese are.
The Canada geese are swinging around for an attack is what those things are doing.
But yeah, I love the details. I love his little hammer there. It's got all little details all over it.
Are these amulets? I'm trying to figure out what these were. These look like rings. I don't know what this thing. At first I thought it was a nipple piercing.
It is.
Oh,
the one is. I think.
But then he's got one. He's got almost the exact same one hanging from his loincloth.
They look like I don't know what they're called, but the Scottish pins for their kilts.
They clasp.
Oh, for their kilts.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
That's exactly what they're. It looks like he collects them for trophies. He does. His hammer does have kind of a Celtic vibe on it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's the Roman. It's called The Real Reason the Romans Left Britain.
Oh, so it is.
He's a Celtic.
Got some kind of Celtic touch to it.
Yeah, so that's why it's in northern England / Scotland. And
are there Canadian geese in Scotland? I feel like
they're probably not Canadian geese. They're a little white to be Canadian geese. Canadian geese are brown.
I feel like we're taking liberties with the aviary here.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if they must have geese there, but probably not that kind of geese. I'm not sure.
In the mountains of Inverness, I'm sure it's rife with them, right by the reindeer.
That's a lot of snow too. I don't know how much snow they get up there, but yeah. Anyways, it's okay. I'm sure Daniel Horn is American, so he doesn't know, but I do love it. I love the Kostichi's eyebrows. I think it adds to his character.
And I think he's probably, if you're going to have a second man sidekick for Greg Davies, Daniel Horn's pretty good. I liked him with the horn section, but I think he really thrives on Taskmaster.
I see. It's a horn joke.
I will say that I do enjoy the fact that he actually put a gladius in this Roman soldier's hand.
Yeah, he's wearing the right armor. The other guy's meat. He had more of the round shield, like the.
Well, that's probably broken because you can see some of it over here, or is that his leg?
Either way, their day was messed up.
Yeah, well, his is. This guy's going. Again, he's very delusional about what that piece of tin is going to do.
I think he's got some kind of frost breath because it looks like he's shooting it with a frost breath, and that's what the shield's for. He doesn't realize the hammer's coming behind it.
Most definitely, there's a frost attack involved.
We'll have to look this monster up because I don't know anything about it.
No.
Yeah. Well, you've got yourself some homework. Next week you can enlighten us.
Yeah, you can
But for
tell us all
now,
about the Kashchiki.
I'm in charge, and I will not
are.
stand for any acting up or side quests or any kind of non sequiturs. We're gonna get to
Wait,
it.
what's that?
So,
Wait, what's what?
let's
I was taking a side quest.
Oh,
let's get into the meat and or potatoes of this episode. Let's say, Rob, how about you? If you've nursed your injury to the point where you're able to function, then I
it's
would.
still a little.
Red
It's a little
Rum. Red
clippy.
Rum.
Let's go to page 8.
Page 8. Okay.
We're in the
This figure's
forums.
busted, so all he can say is murder, not Red Rum. Spoilers.
We're going to this. It's actually the bottom of the middle column. It's the beginning of it, and then it goes to the next column. It's Larry Paisley. He's talking about something that is quite prescient. I think Larry Paisley is he's got a crystal ball, or he's a psychic medium. Speaking of the shinin, he's got the shinin because he's talking about why is nobody videotaped and put out people playing the game
Is he saying videotape, or is he talking about cassette tape? There's no one taping.
I believe it says video.
It just says tape.
Does
Oh
it?
no, you're right. Videotaping.
Yeah.
There it is.
He wants to videotape a session so that people who've never played before can learn how to do it. And he pretty much predicted actual play and Critical Role. This guy right here.
I will say I think someone did, but they put it on a Betamax.
That's the problem. Nobody had the thing to play it.
Now it becomes now it's just lost to time.
Yeah, but yes. So from a place in British Columbia I've never heard of, Tassis.
I think that's one of the gates to the Nine Hells.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's on Vancouver Island, it seems like. But yeah, he says, why don't people videotape it so people can watch and learn how to play? And that's pretty much what's happened with this renaissance lately of the huge influx of D&D especially. But
boy, I tell you what, it probably blows his mind now that there's online play.
That's the point. He predicted it.
Oh God!
Too bad he's dead.
For sure, yes. Rest in peace, Larry. Lawrence, you
probably got taken by a demon coming to the gate in that town of yours.
Yeah, from your lips to God's ears. Now you can't swing a dead cat without seeing some role play online with various systems and various
quality.
Now he's probably going like, I didn't mean everyone.
Yeah. Just one or two people, not most of the internet.
But it is what he says is exactly true, though. People, although a lot of people are critical of Critical Role, coincidentally, but it does show you how you can play, like how it's like, you know, I mean, if you've never played before, it's a good learning exercise.
I'll be surprised why no one thought about it, but you know, maybe it all boils down to
distribution. I think
or the PTSD of Satanic Panic. You know, you don't want any of that getting out.
I think by now it's easing off a bit, but it's also there's a cartoon on Saturday mornings at this point. But I think it's.
But there was no platform.
Yeah, right. Platform for it, and I guess you could have done rentals, but like really that's very niche. Like, or you could do a RPGA maybe. Like
it'd be for rent at the Blockbuster in the special section that you had to go through saloon doors to get.
Yeah, that's right. But that's only our sessions. But yeah, it's a good idea, and Larry had it many years before it got. He was ahead of the time because he had no platform for it, but now there's a platform. Many platforms actually, not just one anymore. But I thought it was interesting.
Okay, Pat, what's your first article?
All right, let's go to page 20.
20.
Is there a doctor in the forest?
Oh, you actually took one of these druid ones.
I did.
There's a special section that's all about druids, and it's
what is that section called?
It's called druids.
Oh, is that all he called it?
I don't think it has its name. I'm scrolling up.
I did.
The Woodland Creed? Is that
that's what it is. Yeah. So this one was an unofficial article laying out some rules for the druid to become basically a non-magic healer and apothecary. For the most part, I thought it was fairly all right. The part where he talks about druids could be surgeons, or in his words, chirurgeons. I just don't see a time when the druid be learning how to do surgery.
No, that's I think a later thing.
Yeah,
Surgeries.
unless the case can be made if you're going to play devil's advocate. The case can be made for maybe learn by fixing animals.
Even then,
But yeah, but I don't see an instance where he's cutting up and sewing humans for practice.
yeah,
You know, but the herbs, the medical bombs,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
salves, all that comes. I think that's good. But again, this is basically unofficial rules for them, and it says basically you can use them if you want to.
well, yeah, we'll get to the loosening of the rules now that certain Gygax is gone.
Yeah, but for the most part, I think most of this article is fine. The surgeon part or the surgery or chirurgery.
Your devil's advocate, it was a lot less robust than mine. I think if you have the magical ability to heal someone, you're by touch or clean water with a word, you're more likely to get involved than say in the real world where infection would definitely or bleeding out would be a problem. I can see in a fantasy world you could.
I think it's the
say
knowledge
would-
is the issue, not the procedure. The
Oh, you
knowledge
think
of
so?
how to fix something, because
Yeah,
that
that's
took a
my
lot
point.
of cadavers and stuff of like
How would you? Yeah, how would you if you don't actually do it? How do you?
a necromancer is probably more likely to be able to be a surgeon than
Yeah,
a
I mean,
druid.
but the bombs and everything else, I think, are right up
Yeah.
that druid's alley, and those would be helpful for healing if you don't have any more spells. Blah blah blah. Till the next day, you need to get someone through the night.
So if the necromancer says the operation was a success,
Yeah,
the patient died.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
but he's walking.
That's right. He has different outcomes he wants.
So
There's no necromancers yet, eh?
I don't know if we got into necromancers yet.
Maybe as a villain.
We're still in the 80s.
Maybe
think
we'll see
the
necromancer.
introduction
Yeah, or we haven't actually hit the second edition yet, and I think we'll see probably necromancers second edition.
In like one of the,
Uh,
I didn't have the magic user one. I don't think.
Yeah. So everything in this article I think is fine to use, other than this surgery one.
I just don't think for a druid. I think other
Yeah,
classes
not for a
would be
druid.
fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see how you gain the knowledge base to repair someone's.
Because yeah, once again, you're not cutting open animals even, and animals don't
Yeah.
really equal humans.
No.
Well, unless you're great apes.
I mean,
or
but that was
something.
my weak devil's advocate case.
Yeah.
Like
setting bones and stuff is different. Like I think a surgery of more of like removing gallbladders and stuff like that. Like that, how would the hell they know what the issue
or
would be?
getting inside to stop internal bleeding and things like that.
Yeah. Well, like Jack said, that's what cure light wounds does.
Yeah.
You don't need any of that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this whole magazine is pretty druid centric, and I don't know if anyone else touched on any of the
Bah humbug. That's all I'm saying.
other druid articles, but my
touched a little
first,
bit.
just a little bit.
Just a
Okay,
little
so hopefully I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. We're going to go to page 30, a PDF page 30. Let's not get them mixed up.
This is my other touch.
See, I was afraid because of all of them, this is the one I
Don't
thought.
worry,
Oh,
I got plenty.
Yeah, don't worry. I got
better
I got like 10 or 20 articles. So
I will say the quality of the magazine has made a vast improvement. There is so
There's-
much.
Yeah, like
in
there's
this
20.
magazine.
Yeah, there's 28 articles. I think I did
Well,
26.
what it is. It's not the quality. I think it's the quantity. There's so many shorter articles that it's easier to find, like just a few, right? Like
Yeah.
before it was like there's 3 or 4 articles in the whole magazine. This thing's got like 20 articles in this. Like
And they're
so
only
it's-
like 2 or 3 pages.
Yeah.
Not the 10, 15.
That's
So
what
I
I find.
suppose since the quality marker is subjective, you add more, make them shorter. Everyone's going to think that they got more quality articles because the ones there's more of what they want.
They at least 'cause
Or it doesn't go so long that you
get
lose
bored of it.
interest or get bored.
Yeah, how many articles
or-
have we in the past were like, oh, that was a great article, it just went too long. Like there's so many of those could be cut down, and these are. I think Roger E. Moore is a much harsher editor than, or maybe people are just learning to write less. Like it's not the
I
crazy.
think he's got a different view a different outlook.
Like some of the articles we've had in previous magazines could have been books on their own. Like they could have been modules, so or expansions. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, cantrips.
Okay, so cantrips for druids naturally. Now we had one for just very recently for clerics, an article much like this. Hey, when you're starting out, training wheels for the magical side of this class would be the small, not inconsequential, but certainly not powerful little spells that you could cast. And this is a list of 12 of ones that would work for a druid. And we got some like dry wood. Obviously, that's out in the woods trying to start a fire. And
edible plant's a good one.
Disinfect, mark
cause
path.
Rash.
There's repel insect. We know people who cannot be within 100 yards of a tree or else of a forest, or else the gnats and the no-see-ums and the black flies. It's a nightmare. So something that I think would very easily get added in as a little something to make your druid a little bit different from.
I was gonna say what I like about these 12 spells is that none of them are very overpowering. Like the cleric had one or two I thought were like should have been first level spells, not cantrips. These ones I could see all being cantrips.
Yeah, none of them are
fit
like
perfectly
crazy.
In a cantrip kind of a use,
and they all make really sense for druids. Like they're not just some random spells. They actually all make sense. Like things like Jack said, you'd need in a forest. Like you're living in a forest. These are just things you'd automatically it'd be something you'd want to do.
If you're a traveler, if you live there, if you're spending any time out there, all of these seem to be just enough to tweak the environment.
Mm-hmm.
So okay. Well then, second articles. Let's go back to Rob. What do you got?
This is the big one. This is my big one. It's on page 61, I believe.
Oh,
The Game Wizards.
Oh, I read this one.
It's my dinner with the Elminster, but that's just beside the point. Really, what this is Jeff Grubb talking about the expansions for Forgotten Realms with Ed Greenwood or Elminster, and so Forgotten Realms before now was kind of like a background thing. It's Ed Greenwood's kind of little thing, but now it's becoming official. It's going to be the basis for all 2e adventures, and they're going to get a new box set, and he's going to have from low level to high level adventures in it. Supposedly you're going to be able to build your own empire in the Realms box set. I don't know if that ever happened.
Actually, you could, because I had the box set, and you can take the background and kind of place it in wherever you want it, and it would work.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at this point, the three big worlds now are Forgotten Realms, Faerun, Orith, which is Greyhawk, and Krynn, which is Dragonlance. So
yeah, well, that's Forgotten Realms was never really fleshed out until now. Like it's always been kind of in the it's almost unofficial. It's a few things have been set there, but not much. But with 2e, that's why we know Forgotten Realms so much, is because we played mostly 2e. So Forgotten Realms became like the default. And he said there's going to be a book on Waterdeep, but it ends up being a huge box set, doesn't it? The Waterdeep.
Yes, sure. there's like a whole bunch of expansions. You get the Forgotten Realms box set, and then there's a Waterdeep box set.
I remember the Waterdeep one was pretty extensive. He said also all the fiction books are going to be set in this world, just like the Dragonlance books were set in Krynn.
Yeah, a bulk of my
we were talking about
Forgotten Realms books.
And we were talking a lot when Oriental Adventures came out that we were like, I think Kara-Tur is in Forgotten Realms. This officially, in this article, it's the first time that they say Kara-Tur is in Forgotten Realms.
Forgotten Realms.
Because Elminster's like, what about Kara-Tur? And he's like, oh, that's in the Forgotten Realms? I found out, we were worried about saying Oriental so much. You could say Oriental as long as it's about a thing, as long as it's not about a people. So there you go. Oriental Adventures is fine because it's about the adventures, not the people. So that's officially okay to say Oriental.
Well, I'm sure someone will find fault with it. I like to pretend to find fault with it, but I don't really care.
But that is
my stance is that people are things, so I'm covered all the way around.
That's right. I don't believe people have their own self-identifications. So, this was a good article. I love these game wizards, because they kind of have background stuff. Once I figured out it wasn't about wizards, these articles are really interesting. And yeah,
The thing about this, it's written. Jeff Grubb wrote it kind of like an ecology by
Yeah.
Ed Greenwood in a fictional way that it wasn't at all mocking. It was like just like a little tip of the cap. It was nice in that regard as well.
and I do like at the end he calls Ed Greenwood and said, Elminster was just here, and Ed Greenwood's, Elminster, he's not here. He's here with me. Like, you thought he was going to be like, you're insane. He's like, no, Elminster's a real thing. He's actually here. I also like how Elminster likes wearing jeans, just because he likes wearing modern clothes.
When he's on this plane of existence, he fancies our dress. Yes.
I thought that was kind of funny.
So interesting. Okay, Pat, what's your second last article?
My third article.
Well, you stole one of his.
Page 32.
King of the Jungle.
Beastmaster NPC class by Professor Greenwood. Longtime listener, longtime friend of the show.
Mm-hmm. Unofficial fourth member of the show.
Yeah. On sabbatical to write some more stuff. I like how the editor starts this thing. It says this class is OP and should only be used in NPC. And I agree after reading all the stuff it can do. This thing is out of control. I mean, as just abilities alone just makes it very OP. I mean, these are not stuff that you gain levels in. These are abilities you just start with in the class.
Yeah.
Like you can see anything concealed. You can move silently like a thief.
You can summon monsters.
You can summon monsters. You can bound. So basically, you can leap like the barbarian was that way. He had that leap, like he had a standing jump. And basically, you clear the Grand Canyon with that thing. You could. I mean, this is a cross between a druid and a ranger. Like he could stalk basically and hunt people. He locates animals. It's just. There's a ton of stuff here that just makes it crazy.
He action movie lead character skill level.
Almost like there was a movie called Beastmaster.
He's definitely not Mark Singer. That's for sure. Mark Singer could do half these things. He just had 4 animals. No, he had the quote unquote black tiger, which was a regular tiger, died. And the 2 ferrets and the eagle. So that's 3.
He didn't have monsters.
No, and he definitely couldn't hold a monster. Apparently, a Beastmaster can hold a monster like the spell.
Or charm. You can charm him too.
I mean, there's literally 2 pages of just...
Chris Pratt can stop a Velociraptor.
He is a Beastmaster. He's a Beastmaster for dragons.
5 columns of abilities.
Dragons, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. It keeps going. The abilities are like 2 pages.
Yeah, dragon riding. The dragon riding apparently is an ability.
Yep.
So, yeah. This thing is out of control, and I would bet money that someone back in 1987 went, I want to play this game. This is going to be my guy.
But then they have that many abilities. You put up the what you're up against way worse. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. But, it's hard to say. There was a lot of pushover DMs back in the day, too.
Yeah.
And if you knew and you said, okay, well, as long as it wasn't just one player getting something that was this, because this guy would be doing everything. Everyone else would be sitting in the background.
Well, also, in my experience, this could also be someone's. I started this character from first class, and now he's 19th. I've been playing him since this magazine's been out 2 months.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm sure at some con some guy came in with, this is my character I've been playing for 12 years.
Yeah, there's a reason why these are unofficial classes.
Yeah, well, I mean, it goes a long way when the editor is going like, you cannot.
Yeah.
Well, an underage server gets to use this as a character, or your game will turn to shite.
There's a difference between in the past Dragon magazines where they said this is a NPC class
Yeah.
Yes, and those are perfectly
and
fine.
this, yes,
Yes, but
and you look at it and go, hey, this is a perfectly serviceable, but officially it's not.
yes,
This is definitely an insert
this
for the
yes,
DM to be able to mitigate damage or get around
there
things
should
like
be no player should have control of this character.
no, but to be to as a guide to get people in there and as a kind of a like an umbrella. Yeah,
Or a helper in some sense
Or
that was going to
or you're
walk
playing
away when the job is done. You know what I'm
if you're
saying?
playing a high
yeah,
level campaign, everybody's got a ton of abilities anyways. You could throw this guy in.
yeah.
It's a problem is he starts at these abilities low level. That's the only problem. High level, you should have all these abilities. That's fine. That's great.
I mean, I guess there's plenty of ways to fix this thing, and a lot of that slashing, either getting rid of the
Or
abilities
just put
or
levels on them.
level, yeah, or attainable
Some of
at
them
blah
are
blah blah.
you're not allowed to do dragon riding until level 4. But
No, I wouldn't even do the dragon riding until like
there's a
you're
percentages too.
maxed. That should be the
A
last.
lot of them have percentages that are really low, so the chance of doing it is pretty low. But even so, you shouldn't
After
have the
dragon riding
chance.
should be dragon wrestling. You should be able to wrestle a dragon.
And after that is getting it on, donkey style.
Let's get it on.
Maybe we should
Move on.
before we get too graphic with the
With the
move
beast,
along.
with the beast master.
Yeah, when-
Tell you what,
before
there's no. Oh, what's that girl's name now? Tanya
Roberts.
Roberts. There's no taming Tanya Roberts' ability. That's for sure.
Mm,
She was untamable. Anyways, Jack.
Yeah.
yes, I was just going to move it along before things got untoward, but I was moments too late. moments, I tried. Please, audience, know I tried.
Yeah, please note.
Editor's notes when you're sending.
He didn't try too hard because the minute we said Tanya Roberts, all
Well,
came back.
Well, that's a
Well,
problem.
you said ta, and I'm trying to think of names, and then by that time it was too late.
What
Tony
page you were
Katane,
going
is
to?
he thinking of? But
Tony
yeah.
Katane. Oh yeah, Tony Katane was 1987. Whitesnake.
Whitesnake.
Oh, Beastmaster was 84, anyways.
But if anyone has any complaints about the quality of this show or anything, we just Gmail. It's dungeontime@gmail.com. And
I hope that's a real thing, and they get all these weird complaints.
isn't that what this show is? The
Yes.
BDSM podcast where we.
No, that's your other podcast, Jack. You always
That's
mix
your
them
other
up.
batch.
Oh,
This is Dragon's Tome.
Yeah.
that's right. Okay, guys, what's a muscle mommy?
Well, that's the other one. That's Dungeon Time.
I'm a
Yes.
bit confused. I apologize. How about we just go on to
What page?
let's go to page 5, please.
Oh no.
Fivers. Letters. We've
Fivers.
got letters.
First letter, finding chainmail. This Robert Roughgarden from Brazil writes in, and he says that he's been playing D&D and AD&D games for 5 years. So let's just say he stated he's been playing for 5 years D&D and AD&D. He says that the modules are a bit boring. He doesn't like the ones he's played. The written modules aren't good, and he says, and to each their own. I didn't particularly find the modules fun to DM, and I didn't find them the way they were laid out, the way they were written, and really.
I think they were always more guidelines than the actual modules. Those were pretty basic.
Yeah. I mean, there were a few that I enjoyed. The A series was good. The G series was good.
But
I think it's your
leaned
DM
heavily
that makes it
into
good.
The DM, you were given a skeleton and you had to flesh it out.
Yeah.
So, I'm with young Richard up until that point. Then he asks about the chainmail, the game chainmail, and which we know is the precursor to all role-playing games because it was a tabletop
War game.
combat system that someone said, "Hey, what if my guy had spells?"
Well, that someone was Dave Arneson, so let's give some credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
And that guy
Poor
said,
Dave.
"Hey, what if we don't play like units? We play individual people." And
Yeah.
then they became
That's where chainmail was not units, was individuals.
and then the actual role playing came from Arneson. The way they played chainmail, because chainmail is technically just a miniatures game. Anyways, Jack, you were going.
So anyways, we have Roger Moore writes back. He goes into some of the it's a chainmail is this and it's got this and such, and where you could find it at the time, where you could write in, and he says he goes on to say, from the sound of your letter, I would guess that you might also want to see the original D&D game rules if you are into a less complicated game than AD&D. He says the current edition of the D&D game, particularly the basic, expert, and companions, serve very well. Now, my question is, at the beginning of Richard's letter, he said, I've played D&D and AD&D. And Roger Moore has now just said, well, if you want something more basic, you should try D&D, and offers those. Is there a D&D that's more basic than the basic expert companion?
Yes.
Was there a precursor D&D?
Well, no.
I don't.
There is
No.
D&D. Then there was
D&D, which
was complex and had no rules. Then there was Holmes Edition D&D, which is a little less complex, a little more thing. And then there's Basic Set, which is the most basic. So Basic Set's the most basic
If he's
D&D.
only been playing 5 years, he's got the basic set.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any of the 70s.
No, probably not. And maybe in Brazil, maybe they had those sets longer.
Yeah, but I would bet that more often than not that
he's probably got the red box. Yeah, he's probably got the red box.
He's got the red box.
So I don't know why Roger E. Moore said, hey, play these games that he just told you he's been playing for 3 years. I don't know why I did that.
Either it was a mistake on Roger Moore's part, or there was a D&D that had predated or was a basic that I was unaware of. But
well, I would surmise that he says D&D and AD&D, but then he says he enjoys using the 3 original books, and that's where I think his confusion goes, that he's just doing D&D, not AD&D, not D&D, in his letter.
Okay, that's a third option I didn't think about. That
because all the books he mentions in his letter are all
AD&D books. Yeah,
none of them are D&D.
He's not playing D&D yet. Well, he probably did, but he's talking about AD&D.
Yeah.
So Roger Moore's like, hey, play some D&D, because I don't know why you'd ever want to go back from AD&D to D&D. Even with the Xbox sets.
I do feel like playing D&D every once in a while is a nice
nostalgia for you.
Yeah,
but it's not like if you want to play D&D, it's AD&D you want to play. It's got way more options. It's more structured.
I wouldn't argue with that.
No, but see, he did say, I think it's too much. I want something less.
Oh, if he said that, that makes sense.
Well, if he says that, then go backwards. Yeah, definitely go back to the red box.
Go back to D&D.
I don't think it's any less.
Blue.
So.
What color was the companion box? Black.
One was
red is basic. Blue is expert.
One was teal.
Yeah, that's the blue one he's talking about, I think. And then then it was I don't remember. Well, gold I know is the immortal.
Which one's black? Masters or companion?
I think Masters might be black. I don't know. What other colors are there?
Was companion white?
I don't remember.
I don't either.
You could look it up.
They were all.
I see what he's saying though. Yeah, but if you want to play, but I think the game's only as complex as you make it, right? Like that's
true.
The strange thing.
That's true.
D&D's complex if you want to make it complex.
Yeah. No, my question was either Roger Moore had made a tactical error in his response, or there was something I didn't understand, or
I think he's just trying to sell more stuff.
Companion was teal.
Companion's teal. Okay.
There was a teal box, and it was companion. And expert was a darker blue.
Oh, it is two different ones. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyways, now that we've solved that issue,
we didn't really, but I think we can all agree that if the AD&D isn't working for you, the D&D probably would have. The little thin book, it's far less crunchy. So
well, and he wants to go back to chainmail. I'm sure that's way crunchier than any of the things. I've never played chainmail, but I'm sure it's not. It's back in the day.
It's been a long time since I even read chainmail. I wouldn't even begin to remember how those things play that game.
Well, like Roger Moore said, he said it's not designed for it.
No.
And you can do it with a lot of work, and he would have said it was impossible if someone from Australia hadn't said, this is what we've done. So
I think Blackmore would probably be more speed, if I remember right. Blackmore was
it's the expansion.
Arneson world.
Yeah, it was the expansion.
And a
for
great
the original
guitarist.
one.
That's Richie. Yes.
Oh.
Is my turn?
Okay. Well, that is our articles.
Page 84.
Wait, Rob only did one.
That's right. Stop trying to steal my article, Jack. 84 is the Marvel file, and there's a new X-Men in town, and it's
Oh,
Psylocke.
I hate this picture. I hate this version of Psylocke.
That's my favorite version of Psylocke.
Is it really?
Asian Ninja Psylocke is terrible. This is not my favorite outfit. Outback X-Men Psylocke is my favorite, but this is way before any of that. This is just Psylocke when she was just Captain Britain's sister, pretty much. She just joined the X-Men when this article happened, so not much about her, but little did they know she's going to become an Asian.
I view these additional articles that are being foisted upon myself and the viewers as acting out, and I don't know
Before she becomes Asian Psylocke, though, she gets another costume, right?
Yeah, that's the costume I like. I don't think I don't have a toy of her actually. They didn't make one. Oh, they did. I don't have any X-Men toys anymore. That's why. It's G.I. Joe I have now. But yeah, no, it's the Outback. Yeah, this actual outfits, it's very, very 70s, early 80s. But
it's very disco-esque.
She has like a psychic armor kind of outfit that I like the best, and then she goes through the Siege Perilous and becomes Asian.
It's very Sunset Strip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Olivia Munn could still play this version.
I don't think she could. Olivia Munn.
She was good. That was the only good part of that movie.
HAWT.
She's
HAWT.
Human and I don't know
what.
Pat,
human and women together.
Pat, what page?
My second idol. My second article is going to go.
That's a Freudian slip.
44.
Freudian slips aside. What page are we going to?
44. This is the Corrid. I knew Corrid was in here somewhere.
It calls you the Corrid by Dr. Greenwood, longtime listener, longtime friend, an official fourth member of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what a Corrid was when I saw this. I was like, "What the hell is this?" But
it's
after
like
reading
giant satire.
No, it's the other way around. It's a really small satire.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
That likes to hunt, basically.
The picture makes him look big.
Yeah, it does. But in the article it says he comes to the waistline of most men.
Oh yeah, so he's like
he's
like a hobbit of the satire world.
And so basically, when they
are
out there, they hunt and kill people.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Do.
Yeah. But if they like you, then you become their friend. They do things for you.
Oh.
This is a really weird animal, and I don't know in any sense where I would use this thing, but like when they do these things called circle dances, like the Fae do, but this apparently drains them, and it's considered an honor to die dancing. Like it sucks the life energy out from when they dance. So
I've known some people like that.
Yeah, but those guys were goth guys, and they had glow sticks.
That's really opposites.
But there was really not much to them other than they're just a type of forest creature forest fey creature that you need to avoid.
They're one of those old timey mythological creatures.
I just I was reading it. It was interesting, but I was just thinking, okay, it's just like a satyr that likes to kill things and eat you. And then they also die when they dance. I just want to dance.
That's right.
So
if you want to be killed by someone who dances,
this is why the town of Footloose never had a Corrid.
That's why they banned them in the first place. They're afraid they'd come.
Yeah.
That's what happens after Footloose. The moment the credits, all the Corrids just run.
Yeah, all the Corrids just run in and kill the town.
Yep.
It becomes another Jamestown or whatever that place. Or what's the name of that?
Jonestown?
No, not Jonestown.
I thought they could drink.
David Koresh? Is that what you're talking about?
No, there was a colony that
they caused the government to bomb them.
Oh, okay.
That's Croatoa. That was on the wall.
Yeah,
that
Croatoa.
Was that Jamestown?
Yeah.
I think it might have been.
It might have been Jamestown.
Yeah.
Anyways,
enough of our very, very vague history of United States.
Yes.
Horrid bacon, 6 degrees of
horrid bacon
aside.
Horrid bacon.
We're gonna. So that's got to be it. We can't
I'm done. I'm out.
All right. I got two quick ones.
Two quick ones. Jesus. Even I've got found that incredulous.
Even Rob's like, come on.
I
What
like
number?
this one. So
We like
I
taking
feel
the
like
piss out of Jack as
these
much as the
articles,
next guy, but come on.
like you said, these was chocolate, and this one actually had stuff I liked. Like
Okay, what's it?
Worcester.
Give it
48.
one. What?
What page of this dead
48.
horse are we beating on?
You
It's the Dragon's Bestiary. It's a bunch of a new set of monsters here, which it's always good.
this guy's the opposite of a centaur.
Yeah, except for that's a dog head, by the way.
That's a dog? That looks like a horse
I
to
thought
me.
it was a horse thing, and I was looking at ways to rope in our bubbling cow joke. Like, this is the bubbling cow, but it's a dog head. Because if you read the articles, it calls them human canids.
Well, I don't know who drew this, but that's not it. That's a horse head.
Yeah, it looks like a horse for sure.
I had this magazine. I remember the wild halfling picture. I always remember that picture. It haunted my dreams.
That's a dope halfling.
It is a pretty dope looking halfling.
Yeah,
that's how halflings should have looked.
They do look
sort of like
hobbits.
Spider-Man.
Look like angry, ready to
angry
kill.
hobbits.
Well, hobbits look jovial. These ones look like, you know what? I'm gonna cut you.
And
say something about my height. Say it.
A capybara, a giant capybara. Everybody needs stats for it.
Was the giant capybara. Those things are big to begin with. So what the hell does a giant capybara look like?
Could you ride it? I want to ride that into combat.
Looks like a Winnebago coming down the street.
How big is it? Does it say?
It says large, but 6 to 8 feet in length.
Length
40 inches, 20 inches. That's normal. And these are 6 to 8 feet in length. Holy.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, a normal capybara is like 2 foot.
Yep. That's crazy.
And then the other one I liked was the Lupo Sphinx, which is a sphinx with a dog head.
It's still
or a wolf head.
Yeah, that's too long of a snout. I think this artiste, he's
still looks like a lion for sure.
Yeah, he's got to shorten that snout.
Yeah, but you know, still new monsters. Always great to add.
Right.
There's a Wendigo in here I saw, but
yeah,
just a Wendigo.
Wendigo.
And then a wood giant and a wood golem, but you know,
and a some kind of mushroom.
Yeah,
of course Greenwood did the mushroom. You know what I'm saying?
Did he do the mushroom?
Yeah. Not to disparage our good friend, but I have a feeling he seems like the kind of guy who would be into mushrooms.
He didn't do the zygote, and that's the important part.
So, all right, and my last article.
Oh.
I always need to shout out these bestiaries because it's always good to have a good one. 79. I only picked this article because we are going to be doing a GW.
Oh yeah, I didn't do this one because I thought you would do this one.
Yeah, and these are new cryptic alliances for Game World. So if you never play Game World, alliance is a group that you all share the same kind of allergy and you band together, and that's how you survive in this desolate world. And these are some new ones to give. Army of the Deep is for underwater guys. The Sisterhood are what I would call the Amazons. These are the ones who think that the world ended because of men and that only women should lead.
Knights of Avalon?
Yeah, Knights of Avalon, they're like the Defenders. They're a branch of the Defenders, which are basically out there to help protect everybody. And those who wait, those are kind of like the culty people.
Yeah, I forget what my guy was. I
have to go back and look.
Yeah, I have to remember what my guy's part of.
I went allianceless.
My guy is a corpulent vampire, so he liked to be around people.
So, but that's it for me.
Oh,
my article finally.
It's over, Jack. Our long, horrific, adventurous over.
Yes.
It was. It's very far and few between that we say that there was a lot in this magazine.
No, I'm telling you, the era of Roger E. Moore is he's living this magazine. I think.
I will say I had a hard time with 121 though.
Well,
we'll get to it.
I have not read
in 2 weeks.
Yes, that far ahead. So
this guy, Pat's actually he's read every single issue. So
I'm the 150 now. I have notes all the way up to 150.
I don't know. You mentioned something about bubbling cows. I wasn't tracking. I didn't follow that. And you're reading ahead. I think you've gone wild. I think.
How did you not track the bubbling cow? Was your joke?
I got brain damage, but I don't know what Jack.
I would never. That's not something I would say.
I do like the comments that we get on older episodes, and they mention something, and all three of us are like, "We said that." So I tell you right now, when you get to these ones, you'll be like, "Oh, I did comment in an older one, and they didn't know what the hell I was talking about."
But I think out of the three of us, I will go back and try and find where we said that. I will spend hours just looking for where we said that.
Yeah, it's usually non sequiturs, and we're like,
it took me about 40 minutes to find the bubbling cow one when Jack said it, but we got it.
I can't believe that that's an actual thing. So while I'm not following for your clever ruse, Rob, do you want to take us to your ad?
I only have one ad, and I know this is Pat's ad, so I'm going to steal it.
But it's probably not my ad.
Page 37?
Nope, not my ad.
Oh, it's the 10th anniversary of Ogre. I thought for sure you'd choose this ad.
Nope. I mean, what to say about Ogre? I mean, Ogre is Ogre.
Wow. Look at this cross section of the Ogre. It's awesome.
It's a nice tech scheme, yeah, for sure.
And it's 10 years. We've been doing this for 10 years, guys.
I know. I love Ogre still, but
yeah, Steve Jackson Games.
American Steve Jackson still a force to be reckoned with?
Yes, Rob forgot that we actually had a face-to-face with him at Gen Con.
I still don't remember this.
We literally talked about the new Car Wars. And I think we actually talked about...
Was that him?
Yes.
Oh.
And then I think we actually... Rob lost it. Or Jack lost it. I'm going to top it even better. Because the new Car Wars has these 3 models, these cars that you could buy. They're fairly good size, 3-4 inches. And then I think Rob even asked, are you going to be making vehicles for Ogre since you're making vehicles for Car Wars now?
Yes. I probably did. Yeah. Because I'm a psychic. But they do Munchkin. Of course they're still around. Munchkin is like a freaking phenomenon. So yeah, Munchkin. I thought they did Munchkin. I just had to check. I was checking and make sure I didn't seem a fool.
Yeah, I mean, and the Car Wars, the new version of Car Wars is... Was I from Boston there for just a minute?
Cow was.
The Cow Wars, the new version of Cow Wars is wicked good.
Wicked good.
I was at the car pack.
Yeah, I've met quite a few people at Gen Con. I didn't know who they were. I remember talking to the inventor of Cyberpunk, the game, and not realizing until afterwards, oh, that was the guy who invented Cyberpunk.
I was with you, and I also didn't realize that was the guy.
Yeah, it was the booth was about the size of a picnic table, and so I was like, man, no way.
That was the first year, though. Now they're huge.
That was before they exploded with Cyberpunk 2077. Anyways, yeah, so that was my only ad. That's my only ad.
Okay, so Pat, how about we go to you, and then I'll wrap it up with mine.
Okay, let's.
How many ads you got, Pat?
I only got one.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to page 31.
Like 10. Which
Night
one?
of the Ninja.
Okay.
And underneath it, in bold black letters, it says reality role-playing game. What the F does that mean? Are we going to run out there and throw stars at each other? Hit each other with nunchucks? I don't want to know what reality role-playing means.
Is that just another word for LARP, maybe?
Or are we really going to be throwing shurikens and hitting each other with nunchucks and then throwing caltrops on the ground?
We know it's
They're
not
called
that.
D4s.
Are you sure?
Even
this isn't Soldier of Fortune.
For the sake of hyperbole, we all know that wouldn't be the case. But Rob brings up a good point. It may be a kind of LARPing situation.
Well, that's the only thing I can think of. What the hell's reality role playing?
I can see people putting foam around big wooden sticks and then
or throwing throwing starters at each other for sure.
Yeah, but then some disgruntled kid takes it a step too far.
Although it does say role playing that's real and deadly, so maybe we're both wrong.
That's exactly what I was like. I don't want to know what this means. The less we don't,
let's just say
the be sued.
Whatever company this is no longer is around.
Because we're making mention of this, then we could be a party to a murder.
30 years ago.
Yeah.
40 years ago.
No way that's true either, Patrick.
What I've noticed, though, just generically, have you noticed there's so many just weird, random RPGs ads now in these magazines? Like, there's like thousands and thousands of
words. It's exploded. Yeah, because this is at the point now where it's exploded. Everyone's trying to get their dollar.
There's like so many just random. I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's just
I
random.
mean,
some
it's
game.
kind of like that now if you think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah, for sure. But now it's individuals just making stuff like this is yeah, put an ad in Dragon Magazine. They're throwing some money out there for a second. I guess the same with Facebook ads. I guess it's the same idea as Facebook ads. You see some like weird games.
I guess in mentioning this ad, I want to find out, did anyone play this game? And if you do you have any battle scars?
Yeah. Did you survive?
Did you get hit in the kidney with a shuriken? Because you did not expect the unexpected?
Why'd you have your back turned to?
Well, because he did not expect the unexpected.
It was just normal shrub when I walked by, and then all of a sudden,
he obviously did not think like a ninja.
Yeah.
It's just so you know, this is the mastery manual. You have to have this in order to be a master. If Lee Van Cleef can be the master, you too can be the master.
It is from Canada, so obviously the most famous ninjas are all from Canada. So I wonder if it's from the pit to hell, same place in BC.
Oh, reality role playing, it kills me.
But you could play the original Bruce Lee martial arts game.
Yeah, but that's the board game.
It's a collector's edition board game.
This one's the collector's edition now. With the word original still looks like it says Oriental. The Oriental Bruce Lee.
You don't want the Bruce Leroy, the non-Oriental Bruce Lee.
Bruce Leroy pitches bullets with his teeth.
Show enough.
Who's the master?
Jack,
we're going off the rails.
Okay.
Bring us back in, Jack, before we keep going.
Ad, page 63. At first, I scrolled past this. I didn't know what it was. It is a piss poor ad for what any idiot in a boardroom could have figured out a better ad for Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, just show the face, the helmet in the swamp. That's all you show.
That's the Legion of Doom.
Oh, that's the only one I care about.
Well, see now, but Rob, that was the dumbest thing I've heard all day, and it's still smarter than this ad.
Legion of Superheroes are terrible. They're the ones from the future, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yes.
Matter Eater Lad and all that crap.
Yes,
they're the worst.
They are. I'm not gonna.
I know what this is. What's Labyrinth? Is that their base?
Was it Brainiac 5 or Brainiac 7?
I think they're maybe both.
Okay, I'm not going to get involved. Right now, Rob's blowing my mind that he said Legion of Superheroes sucked.
They are terrible.
But if you were going to make an ad, why would you make this big blob of a planet-looking thing and write some stats for something, and then at the bottom, Legion of Superheroes, and then it's the source book.
It's volume 2,
Put the heroes on the book.
Or something. Because
I scrolled past this.
I did too.
I didn't know it was.
I saw Legion of Superheroes, and I thought it was just a generic.
And I thought it meant Legion of Doom.
I thought it was a generic RPG that was just coming on, like, I'm going to get my $2.
No, I knew it was DC, but I didn't...
See, I didn't even, like Jack, I didn't spend enough time to even investigate. I just thought it was a homebrew superhero one. I didn't realize it was going to be the DC version of Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah. But this is volume 2 of the World book. I wonder if that's what they're really trying to sell, just the worlds. Is that this is? But you could have a better ad than this. It's terrible.
A better ad. Not
just
a giant
one stat
rising from the swamp.
Which is the wrong Legion.
Wrong Legion. They're my favorite Legion, though. What about Legion, where it was spelled L.E.G.I.O.N. Do you remember that one? It was a comic. It was
I do remember Legion.
It was like the militant version of the Legion of Superheroes, I think. They split. Oh. There was also Legion of Superheroes was so complex. There was multiple timelines, and then they met each other, and then so there's multiple different timelines. That's why I think there might be a Brainiac 5 and 7, because there was a bunch of different ones all together, and they had different names, but they're the same person. It got really confusing in the 90s.
I will say I watched. What did I watch? It was because on HBO Max they have a lot of the DC cartoons. They get to release a lot of the DC right now.
They had the one where Supergirl went into the future, right?
Yes, she went to the Legion of Superheroes, and I think that was Brainiac 7 in that cartoon.
I think that was the basic one. Zero Hour was pretty good.
if my Brainiac iteration was wrong off the top of my head for the timeline that this is, then I I apologize profusely.
You might be right though. That's the thing.
I might be, and in which case I was right.
You may be right.
I might be crazy,
You may be crazy.
but
Brainiac 5 is indeed a character.
okay, we can't start singing again because the attention we got last time.
You're both right. You're both right. There is a Brainiac 5 and there's a Brainiac 7, so you're both correct.
Okay,
and it is that whole thing where there's two characters from different timelines. So
perfect.
Good job, guys. Okay. We figured that out.
I just want to leave this ad now.
Can we be done?
I want to leave this magazine as well. We're on hour 3. If anyone's keeping track,
why are Jack's episodes always longest? That's answer below. Know. Answer below in the comments.
For a guy,
the way you guys next
like
episode,
control is like sand between the fingers for him.
You're gonna see me acting out. You're gonna be like, why is he acting like this? And you'll know why.
That's all right. Pat's the host next one.
We'll just think it's normal.
I'm always last. A little behind the scenes here. We always record 3 at a time. I'm always last. So by the time we get to my episodes, everybody's so tired that they can't act out. And they're always the shortest episodes because it's like, okay, let's just get this done.
I gotta just do this.
Oh God! If I have to talk about Dragon Magazine one more time,
one more second.
My episode's the first one, and everyone's full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
Show up and they're like, "Hey,
that's a little behind the scenes, everybody.
Let's throw some chaos into this. Let's get it going.
Haven't seen each other for a while. Let's get all wild and crazy. Okay, let's put an end to this boys' night. That has been the Dragon's Tome. This has been a delight, and hopefully you stuck out till the very end. Rob says I have to point at the ground a couple times. I don't know. It's something technical.
It's like, share, subscribe.
Pointing at my head.
Yeah, something like that. Please come back next week. We're going to do another episode, and hopefully it's a little more controlled, a little less chaotic.
Please, comment some obscure saying that we said. So
yeah, in 10 years from now, please comment on something that we have no clue what we just said in this. They'll be like, no, it's Tiny Katane. We'll be like, what?
What? How did Whitesnake get in this?
Yeah, my favorite band is Whitesnake. We'll be like, we talked about Whitesnake?
It took me 30 minutes to figure out where we said bubbling cow.
Okay.
But I found
it's like a little treasure hunt for Pat.
Let's end with some decorum, people. So for Dungeon Time, I've been Jack.
Dungeon Tome,
Dungeon Tome. That's the other one. I've been Rob.
Oh, I've been Chopper. For the Dragon's Tome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night.